Our first pose of the practice. You can get the playlist started now. I'm going to do the same. We'll start in child's pose. Big toes to touch behind us. Reaching for the front of the mat. Hips at a comfortable distance. Open hips at a comfortable distance apart. Just taking a seat back and nice and comfortable position here. We'll start working with our breath. Either deep inhales and exhales. I always like to recommend what's referred to as rescue breathing, which is inhales, exhales slower than the inhale. So if you'd like to try that, you can try inhaling to your own count of 4. And exhaling to your count of 8. Slowly inhaling. And exhaling. Making our way into a tabletop position. Kind of like I usually like to start, so we do a lot of core and back bending in my class. We'll start with some cat and cow tilts. So stacking joint systems, shoulders over wrists. Looking behind you, make sure you can't see your big toes, so your heels are in line with your knees. We'll start in a cow pose, letting the belly hang soft, tilting the head back. Inhaling here as we exhale, pulling belly button to spine, using our Uddiyana Bandha and rounding our upper back and our traps. And taking at your own pace between the two poses. Maybe a couple more at your own pace. Getting back into a neutral position. Coming through tabletop. Coming into sunbird now. We'll start with the left heel back. And you have an option to stay here with both hands planted on the mat or reaching the right hand to the front of the room. Remember, creating length on both sides of this pose. So driving through your heel and reaching that front arm forward and reaching the crown of your head forward too. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the hind leg. Option to stay here, coming to a crunch flow, elbow to knee. Extending. Elbow to knee. Extending, driving through that heel, maybe 3 more. Finding stillness, making our way through tabletop, switching to the opposite side. Driving through the right heel, reaching the left arm forward. And working on our length here, shoulders away from ears, reaching the left hand to the front of the room. And coming into that similar flow, maybe doing 5 reps. Awesome. Of course, you feel nice and warmed up now. Well, we're going to do a little more anyway. So coming up on our toes and reaching our forearms to the mat. Coming to a bit of a forearm plank. You do this with your knees up or down if you'd like. I'd like to take you through Dolphin Pose. I like to do often. We didn't do last class. So what I'm going to do is, less so pushing through the forearms, this is going to zip up through the avenues at Uddiyana Bandha and lift the hips. Exhaling, coming into that plank. And hugging the sides in, pulling through the belly button, lifting the hips, shortening the hip flexors. Back into a high plank, one more time. And coming back down to a tabletop. Remembering, at any point in the practice, down dog, is a difficult pose for your shoulders, Dolphin is a great alternative to it. So let's come up on the toes and make our way through our first downward facing dog in the practice. Maybe wagging our tail side to side, having a bend in our knee, anything you need to do to be comfortable in this pose since we're just starting. You pedal out the heels. We're going to reach the right leg in the air, come into a three-legged dog. We're going to come into that tiger stretch where I'm going to reach right knee to right elbow. Drive through the foot. Left elbow. Getting those obliques involved. Drive through the foot. Right elbow. Building our fire now. Drive through the foot. Left elbow. One more time each side. Drive through the right foot. Right elbow. Drive through the right foot. Left elbow. And make our way back to downward facing dog. We switch sides. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. Driving through the heel. Left knee, right elbow. And working with those obliques. Create our own flow now. Notice you do 3 of each. And coming into our downward facing dog. Walking or hopping feet to hands. We're going to hang in a forward fold of our choice. I like to start with a ragdoll typically. Whatever you do, just let the head hang soft. Any tension out of our neck. Maybe circling it one way or the other. Nodding it yes or no. Whatever you need to do. If your hamstrings are really tight, just lean over a little deeper and rest your rib cage on your quadriceps or your thighs. Keeping that head heavy. Driving through the feet. Inhale, reaching and rising to our extended mountain as we start our sun salutations. Exhaling, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhaling, zipping it up through the abdomen, similar to how we did Dolphin Pose. Pulling belly button to spine as we lift. Give our hamstrings an assist there, using our abdominals to do some of the work, right? Coming to our halfway lift. Nice neutral spine, creating length in the spine, reaching the crown of the head to the front of the room, ears away from shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. We're going through another couple half salutations. Inhale, reach and rise. Hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, the halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Really working those hamstrings. Inhale, reach and rise. Hinging at the hips, forward folding. Inhale, the halfway lift. Hands to the mat, knees up or down, coming to our high plank. And keeping our legs active here as we push forward. Lowering, we hug the elbows into the sides. Inhale into a back bend of your choice, so that's upward facing dog or cobra. Curling back in the toes. Pressing away, downward facing dog. Going through that flow again, walking or hopping, feet to hands. Nice quiet landing there. Inhale the halfway lift. And work through your flow, forward folding. Drive through the heels. Inhale, reaching and rising. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale the halfway lift. Hands to the mat. High to low push-up. Inhale the back bend. Exhale, forward folding. One more time. Walk or hop feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale the forward fold. Drive through the feet. Root down, reach and rise. Hinging at the hips, forward folding. Inhale the halfway lift. Maybe doing the jump back this time if that's in your practice. Otherwise, go through your chaturanga regularly. And back down to downward facing dog. We're going to add a few more poses to that flow now. Ooh, walking or hopping, feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, sitting back into our chair pose. Remember, as much as you can, I'm always guilty of this, try to stack your knees over your ankles. You get that knees coming out of your seat a little bit. I'm sorry for anyone who did leg day today. Bringing hands to heart center. Have a lot of strength in them, especially the sides of our hips here, like our glute medius, right? What we're going to do is we're going to step back the right foot to our crescent lunge. Heel over the ball of our foot. Reach up, maybe even hook the fingers, just like back bend. Inhale, hands to heart center. Twist to the right side. If you feel yourself sinking into that front leg, push away with the tricep on the thigh. Then you reach for the mat. Open up into our crescent lunge. A block is an excellent option if you can't quite reach the mat or if it's uncomfortable for you. Maybe you're coming to an arm bind if that's in your practice. My shoulders are way too tight to do that. Now pressing down through the feet back into our crescent lunge. Opening into our warrior two. Reversing our warrior, inhaling. Coming back through warrior two into our extended side angle. Forearm the quadricep, reach for the front of the room. On that little bit of extra core, pick up the bottom hand. Press through the feet back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat and come through your flow. Walking or hopping feet to hands. And we'll go through that flow on the opposite side now. Inhaling the halfway lift. Exhaling, sitting back into our chair. Hands to heart center. Stepping the opposite leg back now. I mean, that's my left leg. We go warrior one arms. Maybe a slight back bend. Back to a crescent lunge with prayer hands. Twisting crescent. Option to stay here. Again, really firing up our obliques now. Open the twist. Gaze is wherever's comfortable in your neck. If it feels uncomfortable looking at your thumb in the ceiling, look at the front of the mat. Both hands down the square of the feet. Press through warrior one. A lot of strength here in our legs. Open into our warrior two. Remember, you keep that heel to heel alignment. Palms to the ceiling. Inhale, sending breath into that right long, reversing your warrior. Making sure as you reverse your warrior, don't straighten out that front knee. Keep it nice and bent. Coming through warrior two. Forearm to quadricep, reach for the front of the room. Add that little bit extra core if you like. Press down through the feet, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. Come through your flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Remembering, anytime in the practice, if you'd like to take a child's pose, feel free to do so. It's a great place to reset. Now, going through it again. Walk or hop feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. And what's coming next, sit back into your chair. Hands to heart center. Step back the right foot. There's that strong crescent lunge. Really rooted down through your front foot and the ball of your feet. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left side. Pressing away, forearm to quadricep. Oh, excuse me, tricep to quadricep. Opening our twist. Lowering both hands, pressing through the feet, crescent lunge. opening into our warrior two. Palms to the ceiling. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Coming back through warrior two. Forearm the quadricep. Reach for the front of the room. Or both hands out in front of you. Press through your feet. Warrior two. Straighten for a slight bend in your front knee. Straighten the leg and pull into the front of the room like someone's grabbing your arm. And lowering the fingertips. Coming into triangle pose. If you can't quite reach the ground, I'll have to grab my block here. You might just want to put it behind your foot. And reach that way. Again, you still want that arm-to-arm alignment, right? One arm stacked right over the other. Option to stay into our triangle. Or reach right hand to the mat. Twisted triangle. Lowering both hands to the mat. Pressing through back to warrior two. Oh, I have a way deep warrior two here. And cartwheel your hands to the mat. And go through your flow. All right, evening out, walking or hopping, feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Shoulders away from ears. Sitting back into our chair. Hands to heart center. Stepping back the opposite foot. In this case, my right foot. Coming into crescent lunge for a second, then hand to heart center. And twist. Option to open our twist here. Bring both hands to the mat. Coming into our warrior two. Reversing our warrior, a deep inhale. Exhale, coming through our warrior two. Forearm the quadricep. Reach for the front of the room. Pressing through the feet. Straightening out the front knee. Pull into the front of the room when someone's grabbing your wrist. Coming into our triangle. And reaching right hand to the mat. Twisted triangle. And coming to the mat. And we'll come through our flow. I just noticed I did the same side twice. So to even out, we're just going to go through the same. So if you did the same side twice, we'll do the opposite side now 2 more times. And if you did both, just work through the alternation on your own. Walking or hopping, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sit back into our chair. Going through the right side now. Hands to heart center. Stepping back. For me, to the left foot. Coming into our crescent lunge, and nice and strong. Before coming into our crescent lunge twist. And pressing our tricep against our quadricep. Creating length there, not collapsing into it. Option to open your twist. Lowering both hands. Driving through the feet. Coming into our warrior two. Reversing our warrior. Coming back through warrior two. An extended side angle. Reaching both hands in front of the room. Pressing through both feet to our warrior two. Coming into our triangle pose. Slight bend in the front knee. Pull the front of the room when someone's grabbing your wrist. Fingertips to the mat. Or a block behind you. Reaching left hand to the mat. Twisted triangle. Awesome job. Press through the feet back to warrior two. And cartwheel your hands to the mat. Move through that flow 1 more time to completely even out. Walking or hopping feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, sink back into our chair. Hands on heart center. Stepping the left foot back. Or whichever foot that you're missing. And coming back to our warrior one arms. And coming to our twisted crescent lunge. Just going to stay here or open the twist. Both hands are front of the front foot. Stepping back the back heel. Coming through our warrior two. Inhale, reversing the warrior. Exhaling through warrior two. Forearm the quadricep. Or both hands out in front of you, extended side angle. Pressing through the feet, warrior two. Straightening the front knee. Pulling forward with something grabbing your wrist. Coming into our triangle pose. Coming through the twisted triangle now. Driving through the feet back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to the mat. And come to our vinyasa flow. And me downward facing dog. If you'd like to take a child's pose, feel free to do so. Let's have a sip of water here. Hopefully everyone's good and evened out through that. Getting back and downward facing dog. Hovering over into a high plank. And I'm going to center the left hand as I come into my side plank. Remembering, if you need to lower the left knee, almost like a bicycle kickstand, feel free to do that. Similar benefit, even lift up the top leg. Otherwise, come into the full expression of the pose. Slowly turning over, back into our high plank. If you really want to, come through your vinyasa. And I'm just gonna switch to the opposite side so I can watch all you awesome yogis also do the side plank on this side. Hovering, centering the right hand, coming into our side plank. Lifting the top foot. Staying with our breath. Slowly coming back into our high plank carefully. And coming through our flow and meeting downward facing dog. Hovering over into our high plank. And slowly making your way down to the mat, as slow as you can. So we lie completely flat on the mat. Awesome job. One of my favorite yoga poses is lying flat down there. We're going to come to some locust poses now. So you can either do it with your arms behind you, your palms facing the mat, or out in front of you, almost like cactus arms or skydiver. I've also heard it called. Just keeping an eye on your hind legs. So where your toes are is going to determine how much lower back you use. The closer your toes are behind you, the more your lower back's going to be involved. The more open, the less pressure on it. So with that in mind, inhaling, coming into our locust pose of our choice, right? Your practice. Deep inhale. Noticing with each inhale, get a little higher off the mat. Do one more breath. Slowly lower to the mat and prepare for our second locust. So a couple breaths. Inhale, locust pose. And slowly lower. Awesome job. So I don't usually do a lot of camel, but I haven't done floor bow in a while. I'm going to teach it one side than the other because I haven't done a full floor bow in a pretty long time. So if you'd like to do full floor bow, feel free to do so. I'm going to cue half floor bow. I'm going to reach my left hand to the front of the room. I'm going to reach behind my leg, grabbing inside of my foot. So my shoulder's externally rotated. Actually, I'll face you guys for this. So, as you can see, my thumb's up to the ceiling. So very similar to dancer's pose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick hard into the pose and reach the front of the mat. The harder I kick, the better I'll be. And slowly lowering. And switching to the opposite side, or come into your second floor bow, whatever your choice is. Again, remembering to kick really hard into that hand. And reach to the front of the room. And slowly lower to the mat. With your forearms down, pick up your feet, just windshield wiper your feet back and forth. Get that good lower back relief. Slowly lowering. Rolling over right on our backs. And we just did a lot of back and lower back. So we'll even out some abs in the front. So we'll start. Hands behind the head. Elbows to knees. Reaching my left foot out to start. I'm going to pump. I'm going to do 10 pumps on one side and switch to the opposite side. So it'd be like a half a leg lift. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Elbow to knee, switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Both elbows to knees. And just hug the knees in. Getting that relief. Maybe a rock a little bit in the lower back. Finding stillness. Making a diamond shape out of your hand and tucking that underneath your tailbone. It's got a horrible feeling I'm going to kick over my water. So, having both feet out in front of you, we do 30, 60, 90 legs. So head and feet up off the mat. We'll start lifting 30 degrees, 60 and 90. Slowly lower. Concentrating on the negative is really important too for the abdominal, for all exercises actually. So come back 30, 60, 90. And again, really slowly lowering the ankles. 30, 60, 90. Lowering, keeping the feet flexed. 30, 60, 90 degrees. Slowly lower. And bring your knees to your chest. Coming to our one of our last core specific poses, we're going to come into a boat pose. So slowly kind of rocking on your lower back until you can come up on your sitting bones and kind of pulling your chest through the front. Extending both feet out, reaching to the front. Otherwise, have your knees in. I'm gonna I was just practicing pratyahara there, ignoring the work phone calls just receiving. And again, if you feel like you have any bow in your lower back, pull through your chest. Maybe slowly lower through the low elbow. Pulling up into boat pose. Remember, knees in is always a great option. It's a little intense for you. Maybe raising arms above your head as you lower. Into our last boat pose. Maybe you're grabbing the big toes. And slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Great job, everyone. So give our abdominals a bit of a break. We come to a bridge pose. I'm going to use a block here just because I like taking bridge assisted. So I'll keep my feet planted flat on the mat and drive through my hips. I tuck the block underneath my tailbone. Just kind of rest here. And similar benefit, creating the same shape, just with less effort. I've been working a lot less from home now, so I've been on my feet a lot. But if you are working from home a lot or just binge watching Netflix, I always recommend this is a great pose for your hips. Very opposite of a sitting motion. You know, lifting the hips now, high enough just to get the block underneath if you're using the block. Otherwise, lower through bridge, one vertebrae at a time. And I'm just going to keep an eye on the time here. Very good. So, lowered through bridge pose. So we'll touch soles of the feet together. Come to Supta Baddha Konasana, just to open the hips up a bit. Reaching through to our feet, opening the hips, rocking on the low back a little bit. If you want to do happy baby pose, rock that is. Otherwise, it's fine. Stillness and reaching the tailbone to the mat too. Don't want to be curled up too much. Slowly lowering the feet. I'm going to call for a wheel pose. That's because we have plenty of time left. I do want to keep doing a little bit of power. So we can come to the 3 wheel poses if you like. If wheels are difficult for you, you can either just come through a bridge when I call wheel, or even you could do a one-legged bridge and kind of help to fire up those glutes a little, right? So I always say doing wheel is a lot like Linda Blair. So if you've never done wheel before, you're going to reach your hands both behind you with your fingertips pointed towards your heels. And you're going to drive through your hands and feet. So coming to our first wheel. Slowly lower. Let's do our second wheel. Slowly lower. And our last wheel, just hold that for as long as you like. And slowly lower. Great job, everyone. Want to see, lay flat on our backs, bringing the feet to the ceiling, coming to Viparita Karani. Just to close the abdominals here a little bit after we did all that wheel. Slowly lowering the feet. We're going to make our way, not so gracefully, into a downward facing dog. We're going to do some pigeon. So I'll do this facing you all. Start with the right leg and 3-legged dog. We're going to bring the right leg out in front of us. Have a seat, sitting back into our hips. Like I always say, I like to keep my foot tucked in and not so out because the knee really doesn't bend that way too much. Just more comfortable on my knees, which choice is yours. Recognizing our hips are in opposite places. Left hip, the hip flexors are stretching and our glutes are contracting. On the right side, our glutes are stretching, creating length, and our hip flexors are closed, right? So back into our seat for a second. It's nice and comfortable, then lowering through pigeon. Coming into double pigeon, if you'd like to try that. Do is have a seat on my right side. I'm going to bring my back leg and swing it around, knocking over my block, resting my left ankle on my right thigh. If your hips are a little too tight for this, you could either just stay in that regular pigeon or go cross-legged in Sukhasana easy pose. Have a nice tight box here, feet flexed. Inhale, reach and rise and forward fold over your front legs. Really feel it on the glute and the right side. Excuse me, the left side. Noticing with each breath, you might be able to crawl your fingertips a little further on the mat. And encourage a deeper stretch. And slowly coming out of this pose. Making our way back to downward facing dog as we switch sides. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bringing the left leg out in front of you. Having a seat. Maybe even pushing through the tops of our foot on our right leg. And noticing the position of our hips again. And worry how they feel compared to the opposite side. And slowly lower over the front leg. And option to stay here or coming into that double pigeon variation. Again, kind of having to sit on your left side. Bringing the right leg up and around so that the right ankle sits on the left thigh. Flexing both feet. I'm going to tuck in as much as we can. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, forward folding over your legs. And staying here, don't mind me, just keep an eye on the time. Slowly rising. This time extending both legs out in front of you. Inhale, reaching and rising to our staff pose. Maybe using our Uddiyana Bandha a little bit, belly button back to spine. Exhaling, forward folding of our front legs. Again, this pose is just as much a hamstring stretch as is a spinal extension. So if you feel your shoulders near your ears, pull through the crown of your head. Create length in the spine. Tucking the right foot in. Come out of the pose. Inhale, reaching and rising. Exhale, forward folding over the left leg. Option to stay here or do the pose twisted if your obliques aren't worked enough yet today. If you want to do it twisted, have your right hand on your left foot. Thread the needle with the left hand. Reach for the right knee. Open the chest to the right side of the room. Great. Heart opening variation of the pose. And for someone like me with really tight shoulders, it's a great pose to work on. Slowly coming out of any variation of the pose you have. And switching sides. Inhale, reach and rise. Exhale, forward fold. Left hand. If you want to do it twisted, again, you can stay in that regular position if you like. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, thread the needle, reach for the left knee. This is my slightly more flexible side. Slowly releasing the pose. Extending both legs out in front of you. We can lie flat on our backs. We're going to do some spinal twists. Bringing the right leg in. Bringing the right leg across our body. We're stretching our glute here on the right side. Using our right hand to either be open here, and again, our gaze is the opposite way we're twisting. We'll take a ring out of dish towel. Keeping the foot flexed. Using the left hand to guide the right leg. If you want to add a little more, use your right hand, kind of Spider-Man your fingers and help yourself come into a deeper stretch. Slowly switching sides. Same way. Coming back into a neutral position. Options. You can either make your way into Savasana now for the last 3 minutes of the class, or if you'd like a little more hip opening, come into a frog pose. I'm just going to curl up either side of my mat. Open my hips. You can have your ankles be just about parallel with your knee if that makes you comfortable. Slowly making your way low. Bringing your chest to the mat and reaching your arms out in front of you. You can stay here as long as you like. If you want to use this even to substitute the Savasana, feel free. If you'd like to take a small Savasana to conclude the class, the easiest way to get out of frog for me is come up on the hands. I come into a wide-legged downward facing dog. And bring the arms and legs in. And we can come into our corpse pose. Just taking time to acknowledge yourself, the amazing things our bodies can do. Acknowledging ourselves for doing something very positive today and coming to a yoga class. Maybe doing a pose today that usually is a bit too difficult for us and really nailing it. Or remember, we just have other things to work on. And slowly make our way into a comfortable seated position. I just want to thank everyone. This class went by fast, and so did these past few months. So thank you, everyone that has taken my classes, whether this is your first or your 10th of mine. Really appreciate everyone. Happy to be a part of the Black Widow community. All right, very good. Our donation information is in the Zoom chat, and we thank everyone for their donations. And if you like my classes, of course, I will be continuing to work with Black Widow Yoga. And you can always give me a follow on Instagram. And if you haven't followed Black Widow Yoga on Instagram yet, please do so. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll bring our hands to heart center, bow, and say namaste. Thank you, everyone, for these last few months. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Brandon. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for coming. Thanks, Brandon. The classes have been great.
Awesome.
Thanks. Loved all the classes.
Oh, and just a quick thing before everybody leaves. So Brandon, let me pause my music because I'm yelling over it. Sorry.